Just trying to get the framing right. And I know I probably should do this before I go live, but sometimes I feel lonely. And so then I just go live because if I just wait until I get everything set up, I get lonely. So, and then I probably won't go live. So that's why I do the setup while I'm actually live. And I'm just gonna mirror the video, or take mirror off. So then now it's, was that correct? Yes, great. Okay, now I've got, this looks like my setup, my actual setup. Okay, so I can roll these things over like this. I'm just kind of looking at the framing up here on my computer, and that also allows me to see if anybody wanted to ask any questions or whatever. Then I can see, and I don't have to go like, oh, hello. So yeah, that's why I sort of have this set up like this, and it's, it's a little bit messy, but like, oops. All right, get ready for some crazy shit right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a little bit messy, but I'm a bit of a messy artist anyway. And I used to really beat myself up about that. And then I was like, no. Oh, that's my tummy. I was like, no, that's who I am. And I'm just going to lean into who I am. Okay. I'm going to just come down a little bit because I feel like, oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, I know this is quite disorienting. So I am gonna be using the Meeden art supplies. That's why I put Meeden in the title. And I have been opening up the Meeden Advent calendar box. And this is the first time in my life that I've actually had an advent calendar. Like, I've never had an advent calendar before. I know that might be weird to some people. We weren't like really Christian in my house. We weren't really anything. Well, that's a lie. We were, I don't know. It's really hard to explain, and I'm happy to talk about it if y'all are interested, but no, I don't think you'd be interested. But anyway, where was I? Yes, we didn't have advent calendars. So when I saw the advent calendar, the Meeden advent calendar, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that sounds great. So what I can do is I can maybe show a little bit of that. Okay, that's better. That's better. Yeah, so the Meeden advent calendar. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And I want to say, like, the first thing that came in the advent calendar was this watercolor paintbrush. So that was like on day one. And I like it. It's nice. And so last night when I was watching some Netflix, I just put some blobs on this paper. And I should mention, this is not watercolor paper. This actually is drawing paper. So I don't know why I didn't use watercolor paper, but I will use. I'm using like a bunch of different types of paper, even paper that wasn't meant to be used with wet or dry medium. So for example, I like to do flowers. So I did a bunch of these flowers and I did it on paper, which is like newsprint. Yeah, it was newsprint. So this is newsprint actually. So I used some of the supplies to create, you know, these little flowers on newsprint. So you can see there's the mixture of the watercolor, which you get this little watercolor palette, which is super cute, but you can see that mine's really messy. Just because, you know, I already mentioned I'm messy. I'm a messy person. So I used these, and I used these, which are oil-based color pencils. So you get quite a nice selection here. I personally would have preferred a black as opposed to a white, but that's okay. That's okay. And then we also got these. These are oil pastels. So we got those as well. Some oil pastels. And I use them as well to create things. I tried layering, and what I found was that if you're gonna layer oil, like layering watercolor over oil doesn't work so effectively. But if you lay down the watercolor first, and then you do the oils on top, that kind of works. And that's what I did. That's what I did here. So on this one, you've got the blob underneath, which is watercolor. And then this was created with the set of these, these are really nice. Love these. Absolutely love these. I'm looking actually to get a whole set of these, but I've decided that I'm going to, these are acrylic markers, but I've decided that I'm going to use these up first, because the thing about this kit is that I already have this whole thing of acrylic markers in a different brand. So some of them are Posca, and some of them are these Grabbies. So it's like, yeah, I really want to have this, but you know, I already have it. I don't need to buy any more. Okay, so anyway, started with the watercolor, then went in with the acrylic marker, and then on top of that, this white, which you can probably see if I kind of, the white is this pack of this pack. Okay, so, and then what do you use these for, you ask? You ask, what do you use these for? What I use them for is just collage, obviously. So if you like to collage, then you can use them for collage. And I have started one in my journal. I've started the collage in my journal. So I just took kind of all of the oranges and reds and yellows, and I pasted them down. And then these stickers are my own stickers. So I have, I print them myself, and I put them in my collages, and I do sell these. So if you want them, if you want some of these, let me know. I have a bunch of singles that I can send out to you as a little gift or whatever. If you DM me your details, I can do that. So anyway, yeah, I use them for, like, you know, collages and whatnot. and that is great. So anyway, so now we're back to here and back to ones. And last night, as I said before, I just laid down a bunch of blobs with the watercolor, and we can do a couple of more blobs, maybe some different blob shapes. And so to do that, first we need some coffee. First we need some coffee, and then we need some fire because it's Sunday. Hail goddesses. And then we need some smoke. Okay, that's better. Much better. Right. Okay, so let's lay down some blobs. Let's get the water. And let's move this out of the way. Like I said, we got this with the Meeden advent calendar, and there's a second watercolor brush as well, which I'm going to get right now. That came with the Meeden. It came in this fancy schmancy box. And then it came inside of the box. It came in this fancy schmancy tube. And I usually don't like to keep the watercolor brushes or any brushes in here because I just feel like the bristles get all effed up. So when I'm finished opening this advent calendar, I will go ahead and put these brushes with the rest of my watercolor brushes. So I do have a fair bit of like watercolor. Yeah, I do have a fair bit of watercolor supplies, including brushes, but you know, a lot of my stuff is like from the Dollar Tree, to be honest with you. So this is a little bit of an upgrade in terms of, you know, in terms of the quality, I guess, of these art supplies. Now, I do have like there's nothing, like I do have oil pastels, as I mentioned. I have a ton of those. I have, let's see, can we layer this? Ooh, I have a ton of watercolor, as I mentioned. I do have a lot of colored pencils, but I don't think the ones that I have are oil based. I'm not sure. I think they're like, I don't know what kind of base they are. Like, I think like pigment. Actually, that layers really well. Like the yellow layers really well on top of the green, which is interesting. Okay. Let's try to layer the yellow. Let's try to layer the yellow on more on top of this kind of more blue green and see what happens. Now, I don't know much about watercolor. I don't know much about algebra. I'm taking a watercolor class at the community college starting in January. And hey, if you live in Louisiana and you're watching this right now and you're over 60, you can take one free university class a semester. And you know, it could be anything. So yeah, so it has to be from a state university, I believe. A state-run university. So that's generally like the community colleges, LSU, you know, all of the state university system. And I'm just going with Delgado because it's easy for me to get there if I need to get there by public transportation, which might be the case if I'm going twice a week. So yeah, Yeah. All right, that looks pretty good. I wonder what would happen if we layered the yellow on top of the orange here. See if that gives us a pop. Gives us a little bit of a pop. A little bit of a pop. Oh, hello, my darling. Oh, what a good boy you are. Do you want to come over here and put your nose up here so that everybody can see you? Because people can't see you there. Come here, my sweet darling. Come here. Hello. Hello. Yes. Hello. Hello. Hello, my sweet darling. Would you like to do some watercolor live on TikTok? Huh? No? What'd you find? Did you find a squirrel? Did you find a squirrel? Did you find Jeffrey in the backyard? Let's try to layer the green on top of the blue and see what happens. Okay. Hello, sweet boy. Do you want a watercolor? Do you want to do watercolor? I know what you want to do. Oh, goodness. Are you going to start to tell everybody on TikTok what a beautiful voice you have, huh? Yes, he does have a beautiful voice. He absolutely has a beautiful voice. You know, I thought I was going to be finished with the watercolors, but it seems like I'm not. It seems like I'm not finished. I just have to go with the flow. Let's see. Let's get some napkins here. Okay, let that sit for a sec. Are we wet? No, this one isn't wet anyway, but you kind of have to let it sit going downwards. I have an angled desk. I mean, the camera really shows that it's seriously more angled than it actually is, but yeah, I've got this angled desk. Okay, all right, so that is really nice. Now I think I want to work with yeah, so yesterday I was just doing layers, so let me just try another layer. Let's get the orange going here. Although when I've been working with these before, I mean, you really have to impress me with an orange, because I guess I must be a fall girly or something like that, but the orange really needs, in any kit, really needs to be amazing. And I'm going to sound like a brat here, but this orange is not amazing. Not amazing, but it's good enough. And when we're doing art, we're not going to sacrifice the good for the perfect. And I know there are a lot of artists out there who will yell at me and say craftsmanship, craftsmanship. Excuse me. Craftsmanship, and I say yes to that. Yes, work on your craft, constantly work on your craft, but it's not about how perfect you can draw a line or draw a face. It's the message. It's the message that you are trying to convey that is important, not how accurate your depiction of the human form is. Embrace the mess. Embrace the mess. Okay. I do like, that's so funny, it didn't really stain the paper too much as I had hoped it would, but it did put a sort of what do you call this? A bloom into the watercolor. That's interesting. Okay, so we did that. I do like the red in this kit, though. I do like the red a lot. So let's do this one with the red. All of this is dry, right? Yes, just to make sure, because I love sticking my arm into my own artwork and fucking it up. That's my favorite thing to do. Oh boy. Okay, well, nobody is here except for me. Nobody here but us chickens. Nobody here but us peeps. I don't know how that goes. Is it nobody here but us chickens? Nobody here but us peeps. And then I like to do these little, I don't know, they're more like this shape. Oh no, that is wet. Something is wet there. Is it this one? Oh, it's that. Okay. Okay, see, the red is really nice. Really like that. So, and then I'll go ahead and do a similar thing to what I did down here, which I quite like, which is to encircle this. And then let's make some little, do I want to do dots here? Yeah. Although I do want to, I think I'm going to, I think I know what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to switch over just because that's what I do all the time. Oh, my watch tells me it's time to stretch. So, Let's drink some water too, freaks. Let's drink some water. Let's drink some water. And just because we're thinking about it and because, you know, it's a Sunday, let's do a little tiny bit of gardening together. If you know, you know. So what I like to do when I'm gardening is I like to use a hemp rope stick, whatever. I like to do that. The cough says you've had enough. Okay. I'm going to switch over here and I want to see how the oils layer on top of, oh boy. Oh dear. So how do the oils layer on top of the watercolors? Not amazing. Very subtle. I don't want to say not amazing, but super subtle on top of the watercolor. Of course, this is a yellow on top of a red. But you can sort of see it, the difference. So that is kind of nice. And I guess you could really emphasize it by pairing it with another color, like this one. Or let's just see what this other yellow might look like, actually. We've got our two yellows. Or is this orange? Doesn't really do anything. Okay, all right. Well, no worries. Let's try this. So we've got a bunch of reds going here. So I'm going to go in with the purple. And let's see if I, ooh, that's still wet. Let's just see if I just can do this and what that might feel like to layer these two. Well, first off, I can feel that I want to be careful with the edges, which is kind of not like me, but I do. One thing I forgot to mention is that like I am working on this paper, which is like drawing paper, and I forgot that I have this from the Meeden box as well. So this is like just a regular 4B pencil. So, you know, and I just wonder if I can incorporate that. It looks like, it could look like a dark gray, I guess. Absolutely. Absolutely can use that. Right. Okay. But I need to say something about art supplies because, like, yeah, there are some art supplies that are just so fun to work with and that give you just like amazing results. But if you go in with the right attitude, I want to say the artist attitude, you can make any art supply give you results. Might not be the results that you want necessarily, but any art supply, any pencil, any mark making thing will give you results because you're making marks. So if it, you know, the only way it's not going to give you results is if it doesn't make marks and then it's broken. You know, then you might have to like glue it to a sculpture. Oh my God, y'all, I have like this whole box of circuits and just junk that I call it my robot box. And my sister-in-law just could not believe it when I was telling her, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna build a robot out of this. And she's like, really? Come on, throw this shit away. And I feel like every artist is a hoarder. Absolutely a hoarder. One thing I feel about the pencils though is that it needs, like, this is a very squishy surface that I have going on here, and I feel like I need to have not a squishy surface. So I'm gonna pull this thing over, I think. Shit almost went flying. Okay. There we go. Now I have this surface underneath, which I feel like is better for this because honestly, you can really get some dark, like by layering, you can layer and really fill in all of the cracks. At least that's what I found when I was swatching. Now, what did I swatch on? I don't know. But like, what if I just really, and then I want to know if it's going to layer with something else. So what if it layers with, what if when we go out, we layer with a light red? And that way, because what? It's darker inside than it's outside. I don't know. Let's just see what happens when we layer with the red. I mean, it just becomes a different color, doesn't it? I've kind of gone off purple. I don't know why. I don't know why I've gone off purple, but I have. I need to sharpen this, so give me a second. Oh my goodness. Too much smoking. Too much gardening. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not 100% about this kind of layering process. So then I get bored with this. And I'm like, oh, I'm so bored with this. So then I have to move on. So let's see. No, I said that there is no black in the oil color pencils that came in the Meeden Advent Calendar, but this came in the Advent Calendar as well, which is a 4B pencil, graphite pencil, and it sort of does look like a black and act like a black with these. So, you know, there's that. Like I said, every mark making device is going to give you results. It's just about, I don't know. And look, if you're not a meditator, like if you can't sit down and meditate or whatever, this kind of thing is meditation. Like, I think just Zentangle, for example, is meditation. Like, you're just kind of drawing. I mean, for me, I'm just drawing the same objects over and over again because I've drawn these flowers and everything and these ones so many times. So, yeah. Okay, so let's see. What does the yellow look like? I forgot about this. I'm always fascinated with yellows, if they can, like, you know, pop on white, pop on black. What can they pop on? Now, I did a yellow watercolor up here, so let's just go around it with the yellow. Let's give the yellow as much love as we're giving the others. Let's see what it looks like on top. Okay. I feel like my other yellows, my other yellow acrylic markers are a little bit more opaque. But they do have a different tip. The ones that I have already. Whoops. I don't even know if there's any left because, again, fall colors. I don't know. Is this a fall color? I don't know what yellow. I do love me a good yellow, so I'll probably use this up. So, yeah, so if I just kind of, as an example, see, this one is much more opaque. Does have a different tip. Yep. I promised I wasn't going to bring in other supplies. I was just going to use the Meeden, but now I've brought in this yellow. I'm going to put it back. I'm going to put it back. No, I'm not. What's interesting is, what is this? Like, what did I use for this? I used the oil pencils, and then now this acrylic marker, or this acrylic, yeah, this acrylic extra fine tip marker is doing fine. Overlaid on top of this. All right, I'm going to put this away. Because like I said, I just wanted to, at least for this time period, use just only the Meeden supplies until I'm finished with the art kit or the Advent Calendar on the 24th. And then what I will do after that is I will go through each medium and show you, like, for example, we'll start with watercolors because that was the first one I got in the Advent Calendar, and I will show you all of the other watercolor supplies that I have and all of the watercolor supplies that came with the Meeden, and we'll do some kind of compare and contrast. And then I am going to get rid of one set, potentially. I don't know. I might actually just pack it up, and it'll be the set that goes with me and to Sweden, and that just travels. That is my European set. I know that sounds crazy, and I'll tell you more about that. In my regular videos. But yeah, not ready to jump ship yet. Okay, but am I ready though to get on with these? I liked the results of these. I have a lot of these oil pastels. I bought a big pack, like 50 thing pack for $20, and this whole thing. But I like these colors. These are very Christmassy colors. You got your red, your green, you got your metallics, a black to do outlining, and then, white for good measure. So I do love the results of these. But I feel like they're going to have to be like a big blobby blob, maybe. So let's see. Let's try to use one of the green, make a tree out of one of the green blobs. Or do we just make an ornament? I don't know. Let's do a tree and an ornament. And one's a tree and one's an ornament. Let's do a small tree here. Okay. Yep. And then this one's going to be an ornament. Not loving that, but we'll go with the process. And then let's do this as an ornament or a flower. These are messy. I'm not sure what to do with this stuff. Like, I wonder, is this the last? Like, there has to be like an order to laying this stuff down so that it doesn't, give you like a complete, I just know this is going to be a mess. Can I do this? No. Okay. We just have to be careful that that doesn't become an absolute mess. And then I just wanted to see what these look like if we layer as well. So let me just go in with like, what if oh, my tummy is like, what if we just did gold instead of the yellow? I do like that. I like that. I want to say I am going to cut these out, but I don't know if I'm going to cut these out as triangles or cut them out as circles yet. Obviously, the flowers are going to be cut out like flowers. Okay, and just for giggles, because flowers and red, let's go ahead and, I don't know, do something like this maybe. And then I'm going to just put these up here for a second because they are such a mess. And maybe do something like this. I don't know. Are you supposed to do like, is this what you're supposed to do? That's kind of pretty though, I have to say, when you blend it like that. So then I wonder if like this is going to be like a sun and not an ornament. Like this is going to be like the sun. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, okay. I mean, again, I know nothing about the oil pastels because I have some because I was like, oh, I want to try these. And, you could get all these colors for like, $20 or whatever on the internet. And so I was like, yeah, I'll buy those. And I used them a couple of times. And then I was like, oh, these are a freaking mess, So, anyway, hey, there's actually some viewers. That's amazing because I thought I was, talking to myself. So, hey, folks. I guess I've already said that I'm using the Maiden Advent calendar, if y'all have been doing that. And also, this is my first Advent calendar ever. I'm like a 60-year-old woman, And this is my, like, literally my first advent calendar, but I've been loving it. I have a lot of art supplies already, so I haven't been really surprised by anything. I was hoping just to be surprised. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to take that back because you know what? There's one thing in the advent calendar that I was surprised about, and it's this little thing here. And when I first got it, I was like, oh, is this like a pin that you put on clothes that isn't, that doesn't have like an actual pin? It's just like that, or is it a magnet? Like, or do you, and I was using it to actually hold papers together. Like, oh, this is like a new age paper clip or whatever. And you've probably already guessed it. But then I saw another creator on TikTok talk about it, and she's like, yeah, it is a needle holder, a needle finder. And it's, I guess, when you're sewing, you hook it onto your clothing or your project like that, and then you can put the needle there and the needle doesn't get lost. So I was like, okay, that is surprising and really, really useful. So I was extremely happy to learn that. So yeah, anyway, that was something that has been surprising. Like most everything else is just your average, art supply. And then there's been like some weird things as well, but we'll get into all that later. Today is just about like messing around with the supplies. Anyway, I love that. And I wonder, because I do have like sun motifs as well. I wonder if I just use my black, because this is my only black. I have that as a black, but I wonder if I do the black around and then I do my typical sun. I guess this is going to end up having like 6 beams. And there should be one here, but it's like, then I would cut into that. So can I do that? Can I be like, oh, that's a tiny little beam? Or maybe I'm just going to make this one, cut this one closer. I don't know. Looks weird. Anyway, same here. Another beam. And boop, 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 boop. I mean, I can cut out the sun like that, I guess. I don't like that one, though. So, well, thank goodness I have this handy dandy Meeden eraser. And, okay, let's be honest, though. The paper that I'm using right now is literally the paper that the 4B and this tool were meant for. This is drawing paper. Literally drawing paper. So, yeah. Okay. Some more coffee. So I wonder if I should use this sort of dark red. What does this look like again? Let's use that here. No, I did like how that all blended in. This does not, I'm not impressed with that. So let's just try to blend that around and see what happens. Like, blend it into... I like it. It's a bit abstract though. But yeah, I like it. And I do wonder, like, as well, like, what kind of paper is best for the pastels, because this might, uh, it might not be the best paper. Like I said, this is drawing paper, and then the paper that I use to make these are like newsprint, really cheap newsprint paper. You can get it super cheap at whatever, Michael's, or, other art supply stores, or even sometimes at, the dollar stores, because I don't even know what to recommend anymore, like who's on what side or whatever. I'm just trying to, yeah. Okay. So that's good. I doubt these are oil, so they're not going to react to water. So there's nothing really I can do with water there. And yeah, so let's see. I think I do like this. I don't know how I'm going to cut these out, but I'm going to smoosh this a little bit so that it's like, yeah, it's not like it's really glowing the top of this tree with whatever it is that they put up there. Like, I just can't imagine that ancient folks would have put like a candle on top of a tree, because it seems like that would be like a fire hazard, unless they were trying to start a fire. But you can't start a fire without a match? Is that how it goes? This gun's for hire. Okay. Where are we now? Let's make this blue one into a flower, and let's take the darker blue. This is the darker blue, I think. Yeah, the darker blue, and we'll make our little petals. On one of the things, I went back in with the watercolors, and like here, like that, I kind of like that, that I did there, where I went back in with the watercolors. And then while I've got this out, let me just do another round of this. Why, you ask? Why ask why? I ask. No, I mean, I don't know. I just feel it. I'm just like, oh, there's too much white space there. Then I want to have less white space. And then that's the same here, but I'm going to use the black one to try to make this a little bit more circular. Give the appearance of that, and then let's get the lighter blue here, because we've already used the darker blue, and just fill this up too. Why? I don't know. I don't care. Why? I don't care. The whole world is fucking falling apart, and I don't care, because I'm doing a little bit of art right now. And honestly, you guys, it is okay to do that. It's okay. It's okay to take a break from saving the world, as I know we all think we're doing, but we're, whatever. A lot of us are just yelling into the void. Okay, I just want to see if I'm just one viewer right now, then that is myself, I believe. Hey, what's up? We sell custom rugs and would love to do business with you. Oh, thanks, Rug Stewart. Are you still there? No? Okay, well, I think probably, you guys, I think that's it. Bye. Love you. Bye, you bunch of freaks. Bye. Bye.